Hello class. Let's look at the assignment you received from last week, and let's talk about the questions and get the answers. So question number one, what is the common nature among all these warm acrid herbs that release exterior? So what is the nature? So they are warm, right? So warm acrid herbs, so they're warm nature. And so what is the common taste in this case among all these herbs? The taste is common, all of them are acrid. So all of these herbs are warm, all of these herbs are acrid. That is why they call warm acrid herbs that release exterior. So you got it, right? And then question number three, when a person has a wind cold, common cold with no sweat, list one herb you should use. Okay, that herb should be ma huang, the number one herb, because that person doesn't have sweating. It is the number one herb in this category for common cold, wind cold attack with no sweat, for excess syndrome. Number four, when a person has fever, aversion to wind, sweat, list one herb that you should use. Now, this is a deficiency syndrome, in case I forgot to mention. Okay, Mao Hang is for excess. Gui Ji is more for deficiency. It doesn't mean that it cannot treat excess syndrome, but it's more for deficiency. And the deficiency syndrome has a characteristic is aversion to wind. Okay, wind. The wind get in on the skin, on the surface, and keep on keeping the pore open, so end up that the person have sweat. That is why that the sweat is the yin fluid got leaked out, and so it is deficiency sweat. So we use this herb to treat that problem. Okay, which is Gui Ji. Number five, one herb that is very friendly during pregnancy. Remember that we used Jisuye, and that it was really big wide leaves. It looked like a big white tummy, and this is good for the fetus inside it. Okay, Jisuye for number five. Number six, list one herb that is especially great for pain on the upper back, shoulder, and upper limbs due to wind cold, damp, B syndrome. Okay, wind cold, damp, B syndrome. So we learned a list of herb last week, and some of the herb can treat wind cold, but some of the herb is good for wind cold, damp. In this case, Changhua is an extremely drying herb, and because of the channel tropism, then it go to the upper back, upper part of the body, the shoulder, and the upper limb. So we use Changhua to treat problem with pain that is due to wind cold, damp, B, and with symptoms that manifest in the upper part of the body. Number seven, list one most important herb that is used to treat nausea and vomiting. Now, this one you should remember, right? And Shenjiang. Shenjiang is the number one herb in this category, and Shenjiang is the number one herb in general to treat nausea and vomiting. So remember that Shenjiang is the number one herb to treat nausea and vomiting problem. Why do we not use Jisuye? Because Jisuye is not the most important one. Shenjiang is really strong, especially the raw ginger juice. We use it for treating nausea and vomiting problem. Now, list one herb that is also summer ma huang. Summer ma huang, we mentioned it last week. It's called shang ru, the very last herb on your the review page. And also list two herbs that can release exterior and stop vomiting, resolve seafood toxins. And you should know this one, right? Jisuye, which is I mentioned that the Vietnamese people, the Thailand people, they live near the river, the ocean, and if they eat a lot of seafood, they normally have this herb to go with it, because it can help with the seafood poisoning problem. In our Chinese culture, we use ginger, shenjiang, more often to for relieving seafood poisoning. We use shenjiang to steam the fish together, or to fry the fish together to get rid of the fishy smell. And number 10, in case it is difficult to differentiate whether a patient has wind cold or wind hit common cold, list 2 herbs that you should choose to treat this disease. Now, I mentioned that last week, Jingjie and Fangfeng, these 2 herbs, right? For the reason that they are moistening and they are also slightly cool. They are not very cold herb. They are not cold herbs, so it is suitable to treat wind cold and wind heat syndrome because the herb can be specially processed to get rid of the cool nature. Sorry, in this case, it's a warm nature. Okay, number 11, list 1 herb that is specially used to treat yang ming headache. In the chart, I specifically put down, right, yang ming headache is Bai Ji. Go to the stomach channel. And other than frontal headache, what are the symptoms that affect the head that does Bai Ji treat? Okay, if you remember that Bai Ji also treat the pain surrounding the supraorbital area, because the stomach channel is starting from the supraorbital area, although it's a lower part. Sorry, infraorbital area. So in that area, and also that for that reason that it can actually treat that pain there, and also that the stomach channel go into the gum area, so it can treat headache, toothache, and also that the stomach channel go to the nasal area, so it can stop the discharge and congestion, and also in that area, nasal area, also have we also call sinus area, so it can treat the sinus headache. Number 13, what are the functions of Cixin? Cixin is a very warm herb, okay? In some of the books, it listed in the warm interior herb category, but we follow the Bansky book and other older books, so we leave it there, especially Bansky book. His category is slightly different sometimes for some of the herbs. So this herbs is right now in the release exterior category. So what are the functions? Cixin is warm herb, so it can help expel wind cold, and because it also have a tropism in that nasal area, so it can open the nasal orifice, and it can stop pain when we use it for especially treating toothache. In the old days, the Cixin is quite thin, so they just put it between the gap on the gum area to stop the toothache. And because it is so warm, it is great to warm the lung in case that the lung accumulated a lot of damp phlegm. It can transform it and disperse it and get rid of it, so the problem of the lung that the coughing problem can release and with the phlegm. Number 14, which herb can expel wind cold to release exterior, dispel dampness to stop pain and stop spasm? Also said it is the moistening herb among the herbs that treat wind syndrome. This one is Fangfeng. If you don't mention moistening herbs among the herb that treat wind syndrome, then you have other herbs that you can choose. But because there's a moistening herb, there's only one of them, which is called Fangfeng. Number 15, list the herb that treat vertex headache. This one is Gaoben. Gaoben go to the urinary bladder channel, and it is in the vertex area. Number 16, list 3 herbs that can clear nasal congestion, expel wind damp, treat the bees obstruction pain. This one is Bai Ji. You can go back to the chart to refer to it. Bai Ji. Cixin and R.AC. All these 3 herbs can clear the nasal congestion. Number 17, list 1 herb that is most important within the category to treat itching. If you recall that I asked you to pick out Jingjie, that herb, to swipe it on your skin, on your arm, you feel itchy. and that is this herb, 荆芥. Okay, 荆芥 is spiky herb. The spike can scratch the skin and make it feel itchy. But no, that is not this herb that can cause itchiness, but it's to resolve the itchiness. Okay. Number 17, list one herb that can treat tetanus, and this herb is called 防风. 防风 can treat both exterior wind and interior wind. Number 19, list one herb that can warm the lung to transform phlegm and open the nasal orifice. We mentioned that earlier. This herb is called 西辛. Number 20, other than expel wind, cold, open nasal orifices to stop pain, eliminate swelling, and expel pus, what does 白芨 also treat in the lower jiao, lower burner area? Local RIA. It stops the local RIA. List two herbs. Number 21, list two herbs that can treat exterior wind-cold headache, nasal discharge, and lost smell. This one, we can actually list two herbs, 辛夷花 and 苍耳子. Although some books said there's only one herb, but some of the Chinese book that I read is actually gave two answers. So we stick with two answers, 辛夷花 and 苍耳子. Number 22. Your patient caught a wind cold, common cold with symptoms that such as aversion to cold, fever, panting, chest oppression. List one herb that best treat this problem. If you remember that 紫苏叶 go to the chest area, so that we use 紫苏叶. Number 23, what does frontal headache also call in TCM? Frontal headache is also called Yang Ming headache. What does the vertex headache also call in TCM? Vertex headache is also called Gaoben headache. Sorry, it's not called Gaoben headache. It's called vertex. Vertex headache is called 巨阴 headache. Okay. Vertex headache is also called 巨阴 headache. What does occipital headache also call? It is also called 太阳 headache. You have to remember all these names and making sure that you also use the right herb to treat all this problem. For example, 23, if I ask you what herb should be used, would be your choice to treat Yang Ming headache, you should actually say is 白芨. Now, number 24, what herb should be used to treat vertex headache? You should be chosen Gaoben. And number 25, which herb? If I say which herb should you choose to treat the occipital headache, then you should be choosing 羌活. 羌活 would be the choice. Okay. Number 26. Your patient caught a common cold from a camping trip in mid-July. He has fever, aversion to cold, vomiting, and diarrhea. List one most suitable herb that you should choose to treat him. Okay, this one will be 香茹. Why is it? 香茹 is to be used during the summertime. That has, not other than the person catching summer cold, in summertime catching common cold, but this also have dampness in the summertime. So we want to get rid of the dampness, and this herb is perfect for the summertime. It's for summertime wind cold, common cold with dampness. Number 27, list one most suitable herb for the following symptoms. Exterior wind cold, common cold with body ache, heaviness on the head and body. So this herb is treating all the symptoms is more on the upper part of the body. So we use the herb 羌活. And heaviness why is it? Heaviness indicating that the person has a lot of dampness accumulated. Number 28, what are the common functions of Ma Huang and Xiangru? Okay, so I mentioned in the class, they both release exterior for wind cold. They both promote urination. They both relieve edema. Now, what is the difference between 羌活 and Ma Huang? you should be able to say that Ma Huang can treat wheezing, Changhua doesn't. Okay. And number 29, Fang Feng and Changhua both do what? They both release exterior, expel common cold, treat the B syndrome, wind cold dam, wind cold dam B syndrome. Number 30, name the most suitable herb for treating moving qi and treating the qi stagnation problem in this category. If you recall that we mentioned about jisuye is good for the chest. The chest is full of qi, and you want to move it and qi because it has a stagnation problem, so you use jisuye. Number 31, name the herb combination that are used in case of wind cold, common cold with exterior deficiency heat. When the person have exterior deficiency heat, the person has sweating problem. The sweat keep on leaking out. So in this case, you want to use gui ji. And in case I didn't mention, you should know by now that gui ji actually partner with Bai Shao, and Bai Shao would be the herb that you use combining with Gui Ji to treat deficiency sweating problem. Number 32, name 2 herbs that can be used to treat carbon cold, and these 2 herbs is called Jingjie and Bai Ji. Why is it that we do not use Ma Huang? Ma Huang is for yin sore. Yin sore is not a carbon cold. Number 33, list 1 herb that can promote healing of oral ulcer. Okay, oral ulcer, we use Xixin because we use it also for the tooth problem, and in general it's great for the mucosa area in the mouth. Number 34, list all the herbs that can open nasal orifices, and you should have, according to the table that I gave you, you should have Bai Ji, Xixin, Xinyi Hua, and Chang'er Ji. Okay. Number 35, list 2 herbs that can treat toothache in this category. Toothache, there are only 2 herbs. One is Bai Ji, and the other one is Xixin. Number 36, list 2 herbs that can treat itching or rashes. So itching or rashes, you should have Jingjie and Chang'er Ji. Okay, Jingjie and Chang'er Ji. Number 37, describe cooking instruction for Ma Huang, Xixin, Chang'er Ji, and Xiangru. Now, for Ma Huang, traditionally we cook it first and we remove the foam. For Xixin, we cook it in a cheesecloth because it can cause irritation in the stomach. And for Chang'er Ji, we normally bake fried it to reduce the toxicity. Okay, fried, or sometimes we call dry fried, so reduce the toxicity, and also that we use it for a short time. Number 38, how should you serve Xiangru? Okay, so for this one, you should not, depends on what the purpose of using Xiangru. If you want Xiangru to release exterior, you serve it warm. Okay, if you want Xiangru to actually expel the dampness, resolve the dampness, then you serve it cool, because with the dampness, you already have a lot of heat accumulating in the body, them actually causing obstructions. Obstruction cause heat, and if you drink it warm, then you can have vomiting. Number 39, provide a list of contraindications for Ma Huang. The contraindication should be the number 1 most important thing is like hypertension, and second thing is like weak body type of contraindication. So it's when the body is weak and has deficiency, then it has deficiency sweat, then Ma Huang is contraindicated for the sweating issues. And number 40, what is the general contraindication for this category of herbs? Now, the general contraindication is sweating due to qi or yin deficiency. If it is qi deficiency, the person have abnormal sweat during the day. In case of yin deficiency, then the person have sweat on the 4 centers area, including the chest, which is the extremity, which is the arm, the hands and feet, and also the chest area will be feeling warm and sweaty. Number 41, which herb is incompatible with C-Sin. Now you need to make sure that you remember this one. C-Sin is incompatible with Li Lu. Although we didn't finish the workbook, we will go back to it and work it out and making sure that you remember them all for the incompatibility, which is really, really important. You need to know. Number 42. What are the general cautions for this category of herbs? Now, for general caution is that this category of herbs, can promote urination. So if the person have Lynn syndrome, painful urination, and that they have frequent urination, you can actually cause more loss on the body fluid. And also that in case the person have blood deficiency, that means that they have heat, then this category of herb can be too warm and causing yin fluid to escape and too much sweating. And also that the caution for this herb can be chronic skin disease. Well, why is it chronic skin disease? But we mentioned that it can be good for skin disease because chronic nature is deficiency nature. So that is why that we do not want to use this category herb in case the problem is chronic, which is deficiency nature. Okay, that's it for today's review, and I hope that you got all the answers and able to memorize them all. And the quiz is now coming to you, and closed book, there's no open book, so you will start doing the quiz. Okay, so I see you next week. Bye bye.